Full-Time Devils, Chelsea preview. We are back in action, this time in the League Cup.
Where are the boxes?
Chance to make it.
Steve down here.
Away wins in a row. What an occasion that would be. Here with Jay, here with Adam. My name's Gaz. Guys, how we doing?
All right.
We all right?
Where's Steve? Why isn't Steve's head here?
What you on about? Why do you want Steve's head here? I don't get it. Let's move on swiftly. 3 in a row. Can we win 3 away games in a row?
That is genius comedy there.
I don't get it.
We have Skype boxes on, don't we?
Oh, okay.
I was looking over and everything.
Good point. Not today. No Skype today because couldn't be arsed. But we can get everyone in the studio.
It's because of the quick turnover in games to sound professional, guys. It's a quick turnover in games. We just got back from Norwich about 10 minutes ago.
Couldn't be arsed.
It was about a 15-hour drive, and you know what? We can't get everyone on Skype at every time.
Jobs with.
People have got jobs to do.
Jobs with.
Not everyone has a fake job. Influencer.
Right, 3 in a row.
BBC presenter.
He's the one who's verified on Twitter. I can't get a blue tick.
Token ginger.
Outrageous. Right, come on. 3 in a row. Let's talk football.
Bezzies, we City
Fuck
fans.
off.
Hey,
Can we win our 3rd away win in a row? We didn't think it was possible to win an away game 2 weeks ago, and here we are. Jay, has it changed the season for us?
A win over Partizan Belgrade
Yes.
and Norwich back to back.
Yeah, we're back.
Not really. I think this is the big test, and if we're being honest, because Chelsea are flying. They've sort of got over the 4-0 loss to us and losing to the Scousers in the Super Cup, and they've been doing well. And as you'd expect, with so many players that they had out on loan that have come back who are actually really good. So no, I don't think that you can get too excited or too giddy over back-to-back wins against relatively poor opposition. But if we got a win against Chelsea, it'd be a different story, especially at Stamford Bridge, because our record there is shocking. I saw us get knocked out of 2 cups there once in the same season. That's how good it is.
Which season was that?
2013. It's one where Nani, remember the last minute Nani in the League Cup?
Oh yeah.
Where we were winning and he decided to go and do a proper Nani thing and try and take
I
everyone
lost
out.
the yeah.
And then we got knocked out, and then later on that season got knocked out of the FA Cup as well.
I know it's in the League Cup, Adam, but if we were to get a win at Chelsea, that would be huge for us, wouldn't it?
It would, but it's actually an interesting potential for lineups here, because we're kind of looking at the Capital One Cup, whatever it's called.
Carabao
Cup.
It's not even that.
They ain't paying
I
us.
call it the Milk Cup.
They ain't paying us, so I'll just call it the Coca-Cola Cup.
Yeah, go on
How
then.
about that?
Give us some money, Carabao. Go on.
Some free energy drinks so we can keep Steve.
Nah, I was going to say, there's
It's
only going one place.
Red Bull.
To that fucking goth.
But
Go
yeah,
on.
like we might see the teams reflect differently. We might see a more experienced side from Chelsea because of the fact the Tammy Abrahams, the Mason Mounts, the Tamoris have been playing in their Premier League games and their Champions League games. So you might see a team that boasts Giroud, Willian, and all these kind of players in this game because of the fact they've not been starting every game in the. So it's hard to see what kind of team's going to come out from Chelsea. It will be a difficult task if we can beat them in the cup. We're knocking out one of the other favourites in the cup. You know, United, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Spurs. They're always going to be at the top of the list in terms of the favourites for the cup competitions. So if we can knock one of them out, it'd be great to do. But it's going to be a very difficult game. And you're thinking we're probably going to go into it Mason Greenwood, you know, those kind of players in there. Or will we go serious? I don't know.
I kind of think we might go strong for this one.
Because we've kind of built up this run now.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if you get a draw and you go to penalties, you get knocked out.
Yeah.
It's like you've still got that.
Have we got the squad to go serious though? Because Chelsea, like you mentioned there, they can bring in the likes of
Wednesday, it's not Thursday.
Yeah, so we could have technically, But the thing is, it's just our luck to sort of play Martial and Rashford and one of them to get injured, and then it's like...
Don't say that.
No, but...
Do you reckon Chelsea will start? I reckon Chelsea will continue. Wow, they've played like their sort of selection, play all the young lads again in this one. Why not? They're not tiring out.
They could do, but there's a lot of fixtures, and you've got to balance your squad. You've got to keep your Girouds happy.
This stage,
if Tammy Abraham's going to be playing and he's going to be your main striker in most games, you've got to keep your Girouds happy. If Pulisic is going to be playing at the weekend for them, then they're going to have to keep the likes of Willian and that happy. So they're going to have to balance their squad. It's the same with United. Like we've kind of committed to now playing this second string 11 in every single cup game. So do we need to keep going with that to keep those guys happy? Are we then going to have a bunch of unhappy players if he decides to stick with the strong 11. Of course, we've got to do what's best for the team, but it's a weird one because it's a difficult game away from home. What kind of team are Chelsea going to put out? You got to preempt that because you don't want to play a whole load of youngsters and they go with a strong side.
Exactly. Well, not only that, right? But it's interesting that usually, obviously, traditionally in the League Cup, you expect teams to play their youngsters in this, whereas the older first teamers sit out. With Chelsea, like you say, Adam, it'll probably be the opposite, where usually they play the young lads, and this time they're going to play the more experienced players. So I sort of worry if we go even younger with our team because we don't really have that many experienced players in there.
Yeah, one thing you don't want is you don't want to throw a lot of youngsters in early on in the career and then to go to Chelsea and get hammered. You know, you don't want it to be sort of something that could affect them long term. I think we've got, like Maka was saying, we've got the chance to balance it because there are the likes of Phil Jones, Marcus Rojo, those type of players, Sergio Romero, you could probably say as well, who are experienced, who are internationals, who aren't first team players anymore for Manchester United. But this sort of game could come in, do a decent job. You throw in the likes of Brandon Williams, the likes of Angel Gomez and Mason Greenwood, and you've got a nice balance there between experience and youth. I don't think we have got the squad to play a lot of our first team players because I think we do have to be careful. I know it is a Wednesday to Saturday game, but it's early kick-off Saturday. I just think the trouble we've had already this season with injuries, we can't be sort of taking any risks. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see someone maybe like a Marcus Rashford or someone who is a first team player, maybe a Fred, but then the rest of it is this second string 11.
Could be a similar kind of team to the one we saw against Partizan. Like, you know, a little bit of a balance between
because we have
the
that
likes of Marshall and that.
Yeah.
And Ollie's kind of hinted that Brandon Williams and Garner will start.
Yes.
So if you think if they're starting, you know, you might keep Maguire in the team.
In many ways, it's almost like a bit of a no-lose this for Ollie. Because I don't think anyone's going to lose too much sleep about getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup.
You think?
I mean, you didn't even know what it was called, that's how much.
No, I know.
No, but I want to win it.
And you want to win it, but you think, going to Chelsea,
Love the Coca-Cola.
go to Chelsea, and if you lose, no one's going to be like, fucking hell, he's shite. But
they will.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It shouldn't really, though. This shouldn't be like a game where you think, oh, you know what, if we lose this, he don't know what he's doing. You know, it's more than that, innit, to make a decision about Ollie's future or whatever. But I think it's one of those where if you get a result, everyone's like, amazing, you got a result.
We'd much rather win on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. I think Saturday's a much more important game. But I think if you get a result, you've done amazing. If you don't get a result, people sort of half expect it, especially the way Chelsea have been playing. So I think he's as long as he gives some of the younger players a chance, I think people will understand that.
You know, you say like we'd much rather win on Saturday, playing Bournemouth on Saturday, and obviously I want to do better in the league than the League Cup. But we know we're not going to finish top 4 this season in the league. Maybe with a ridiculous run of form we might, but it's very unlikely.
I kind of feel that way.
I know we need to get ourselves out of this mentality of we're better than the League Cup, we're better than the Europa League. We're not. If we finish this season with a League Cup, that. Mate, it's a positive based
Points
on our
are
squad.
massively important at the moment, though, guys. I know what you're saying.
Make 'em up.
Like if we get through in that cup, what is it? The last 8 we're into? Is this the last 16?
Yeah, this is the 16, so the last 8. So
we're getting 3
games.
I get what you're saying.
3 games from Wembley or whatever.
But we could draw this, win on penalties, and go 3 games.
Yeah, well,
I'm saying.
And you know, it's difficult because I've always said silverware. It's about silverware at Manchester United. Even though since Fergie's side we've been pretty poor, we've won 3 trophies. So it's sort of like it's been alright.
But if you win the League Cup, don't you end up in the Europa League?
There's always something in there. But like you were saying, you made a good point of week, Maka, about your bread and butter is the league, and you want to be seeing wins in the league. You go every week.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like under Jose, when we won the Europa and we won the League Cup, he gave up on the league in like January, and you're just watching garbage every week in the league, and it's like, you want more than that. So I think the focus should be on the league, obviously, but doesn't mean you don't want to win trophies, obviously you do.
How good it would be for some of our first teamers, not even just like the younger ones like your Greenwoods and Garners and stuff, how good it would be for like your Rashfords to come away from this season with a League Cup. I think it would mean a lot to them.
They've already got one of them.
I know, but I just think that this season,
it would,
around the negativity,
especially
you know what the good thing as well.
Also, let's not forget the finals frigging halfway through the season.
That's what I mean. In February, remember when we won and it was Lampard?
Yeah.
And it was like February, you've already won a trophy.
Especially for Ollie as well.
Yeah.
If he can say, like, you know how Jose had that, I'm the first manager to win something in my first season as Manchester United manager, which is a great achievement. But if Ollie can become another manager only the second manager to have won something in his first season, it's a massive thing as well.
It will be a bit positive, and it maybe gives him the sort of breathing space that if we don't make top 4, he still keeps his job past the summer.
That's what I was going to say.
Because the signs of progression.
Yeah, because he said,
and imagine like Mason Greenwood and that winning, Axel Twanzebe, you know, those kind of players winning their first trophy.
Giggs' first trophy was a League Cup, wasn't it?
And remember when Gary Neville's first as captain? was the League Cup.
That's what I mean.
Just
so
to like try when we were trying to break that dominance of Chelsea.
It's like you say, we've had some mint games in the League Cup. Don't get me wrong, one of my first games was the Rumbelows Cup against the Scousers when we beat them at Old Trafford. One of the first games I can remember anyway. So, and you know, we'll talk about the Zlatan final. That was a decent day out on it, and you know, to get that result as well, we thought we'd lost it. So there has been some good games in the League Cup. Don't dismiss it completely. It is a major piece of silverware. It's just not the priority.
Absolutely. Right, starting 11.
The FA Cup's priority this year, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'd have the FA Cup over the League
All
Cup.
our eggs are in the FA Cup
But-
basket.
Would you not have the Europa over anything though, because of the Champions League?
Yeah, obviously. Just because of the
And
Champions
because
League.
like
Europe.
it's Europe and you get to go like.
Nah, take that out of the equation.
And then we're not in the Europa League next
Yeah,
year.
exactly. That's the main thing. But if you take the qualification for the Champions League out of the equation, I'd rather win the FA Cup than the Europa League.
Yeah, 'cause
Maybe
I love
that's
the FA Cup.
controversial, but I would
But
love
I
winning the
think-
FA Cup.
Don't know, you know.
All
Because
this
there's so
cup
much
competition.
football on TV, the FA Cup doesn't mean what it used to be. Remember when it was like not the only televised game, but you
Yeah.
had Champions League and FA Cup.
You had like 4 channels.
I
You
never had
watched
Sky
Champions League,
back in the day.
Yeah.
So unless I was at a game, you know what I mean? So it was like
I remember
the
on
FA
a
Cup was
weekend
mint.
being
And you used to
buzzing.
see the aerial shots from the coaches driving into Wembley and all that stuff. It was mint.
Do you reckon we're something to do
22nd
with
of
why?
May 1999, my 10th birthday.
Do you reckon we're
Is that your
something
first
to
FA
do?
Cup?
No, we won that one though
Right.
on my 10th birthday. My first FA Cup was that I can remember was 4-0 Chelsea.
That's the first time I went to the FA Cup final.
Yeah, I mean,
Mate, decent that. Eric would have
Pissing down the rain.
Yeah, it was sick.
I remember my face painted in the garden for Millwall.
Face paint.
remember what we were
was
talking
my
about earlier?
I was a child, Jay!
Remember what we were talking about earlier?
Blackface and that.
We weren't talking about that earlier either. Talking about that fella.
Red, white, and black.
Oh yeah, like,
So I suppose.
Remember we were talking about that fella that painted his kid?
Red. Was that you?
Good point. I was 10 though, and it was off my own back with my little brothers. Right, moving on. Starting 11, predicted 11s.
Mate.
While you two do yours,
Go on,
I'm going to
you
have
do
a look
yours.
at who's injured because I forgot I had to do one today. So yeah, go
Right,
on. Who's playing?
I'll go Romero in goal.
Right.
I'll go Brandon Williams at left back. I'll go Marcus Rojo and Phil Jones at centre back. I'm going 4-4. I'm going 4-4-2. Sack it. At right back, I'll go with Wan-Bissaka. I think he will play the odd first teamer.
Well, it's got loads of injuries as well, you see.
Yeah.
Like Luke Shaw's doubtful.
Right, so I don't mind Williams coming at left back. Everyone thinks he should be starting anyway, so this is a good game for him.
Best left back in the world, mate. Oh,
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with it.
In midfield, we'll have Garner. See, we're already struggling for numbers here. I thought this out. I'll go with Garner, Fred.
Yes.
Who else is there? Oh, God.
you don't think this is a game for Matic?
I think maybe.
Maybe.
Just talk of him leaving.
Right, I'll go with Garner. No, do you know what? I'll stick to my guns. I'll go with Garner, Fred, Mata, and Lingard. That's your 4 midfielders. And up front, I'll go with Greenwood and Rashford.
There we go, Jace.
Lingard and Matter out wide.
Yeah.
Jay's thought that one
Listen,
through.
this is the revolutionary tactic that's going to beat Frank Lampard's Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Don't watch that.
Jesus Christ.
Go on, Adam. What are you saying? I am listening to them, by the way. I'm just doing my thing.
Sergio Romero in goal.
Right.
Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
Axel Tuanzebe. Is he fit?
I don't know. That's why I would have gone with him, but I don't.
Doubtful
That's why I didn't
to
choose him.
I'm going to go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do
Axel
it.
Tuanzebe. Philip Jones. Marcus Rojo. And I think he's going to play Aaron Wan-Bissaka again. We're going to go with a 3-5.
Oh, you're going 3-5-2.
5, whatever.
Yeah, it's one of them. Isn't it?
And then James Garner.
Yeah, man.
Garner.
Maverick.
Scotty too high. Although I'd probably take him out, give him a rest. I think he'll go with him again. Because they did alright in Belgrade. Jesse Lingard. Mason Greenwood. Marcus Rashford. Is that enough players?
I don't know, mate. I wasn't
So
listening.
I went-
Jay, was that enough players?
I went Rojo, Jones,
Yeah.
and Maguire.
You didn't say Maguire.
Yeah, didn't know.
No, you said Tuanzebe.
Yeah, you did.
Tuanzebe.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garner, McTominay.
Yeah.
So that's 7.
You went.
Romero in net,
Yeah.
8. Lingard,
Yeah.
Mason,
Yeah.
Marcus.
So after all that, you're not even having Matic after you give me grief for not putting him in. You just literally criticised me for not putting Matic in and didn't put him in yourself.
I was trying to give you an
This is
idea.
what-
We've not seen Matic play with Gardner.
You're
have we
not
yet?
putting Matic in and didn't put him in yourself.
Yeah, because he wants to fuck off, doesn't he? And he's slow as fuck.
I don't think. Even though I'm about to put Matic alongside Garner, which I don't think is something we'll see happen too many times.
Not,
but I'm
it's
just
a nice
going to see
little
it
balance
happen.
there of experience and youth.
Right. Romero in goal, Wan-Bissaka right back, Williams left back, Jones, Rojo centre halves, Garner, Matic centre mids. Then I've gone for Greenwood, Mata, and James as your most lightweight possible three, playing behind Marcus Rashford. So yeah, if they're playing a bit of a destroyer, then they're gonna struggle in that game. But that's my team anyway. Right, moving on. Chelsea. How do we think they're gonna set up, mate? Are they gonna go full hog, full at it? I think so.
I think it might be like a 4. You could potentially see a 4-2-3-1 there, isn't it?
I think we see.
There's doubts over Kante, Rudiger, Loftus-Cheek. There's doubts over them. That's for sure.
It's different for Lampard as well because it's a home game.
They're all
and
out.
they've already been beaten 4-0 off us. He's got a bit of a point to prove there. Because I think if he goes like with a really weak team and gets beaten again twice off United in the space of 2 months, it's not a good look, especially at his own at Stamford Bridge. So I expect probably a stronger team from him than from us, if that makes sense.
We beat them 4-0, but I think we all know we didn't play 4-0.
We did on the counter attack. We were pretty ruthless.
Yeah, but 4-0.
Take your chances. I know it probably wasn't a 4-goal deficit game.
No.
You know, because they had their chances.
We deserved to win.
They had quite a lot of chances, but they're going to play some strong players. When you think about it, Callum Hudson-Odoi is just coming back from injury. Not long ago, he did fantastic well for, was it the 23s England?
Yeah,
the other day he was on fire, and he's just come back from injury. So if he can do that, then he's going to be. I think he'll start this game. You're looking at people like that playing. Maybe Olivier Giroud, Pedro, Willian. They can have a second. They can have a second string 11, but it could be a very
still quite strong and experienced.
In midfield, Kovacic, Barkley, like.
Yo, how are them players happy at Chelsea?
That's why people that compare Chelsea to United, it's mental because the younger players that Chelsea have are in Twanzebe's position. They've had that loan. They've had that time to make mistakes and get experience and stuff like that. So Tammy Abraham was playing with Twanzebe last year. They both got promoted.
Yeah.
So they're in a similar position, and Twanzebe could play for United today. Whereas we've got youngsters that are like Mason Greenwood, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez that need that experience or need that loan or whatever. So people that compare it, I find it weird because they're in different places and their squad is a lot deeper, especially in midfield. The quality that they have.
Yeah, definitely.
You can play Kante and Kovacic, and I don't even rate Barkley anymore. But
I think that was a bit of a boost for us on the opening day as well when Kante didn't play.
Yeah.
I do rate him a lot.
Are we going to see Perisic in this one?
I don't think Pulisic will play in this game because he got a hat trick last game. He'll probably save him for the league, right?
Yeah.
You'd think, but you never know.
I just feel like we're going to see
Hudson-Odoi, Willian or Pedro, and Giroud.
Okay. This is what I mean.
That's a strong team, but I think they're going to carry on.
They've got such, like you say, such a big squad, and they're the first club in history that has been lucky with a transfer ban. Because that transfer ban did him a massive favour because he had like 40 players out on loan that he had to use, and like you said, the likes of Abrahams and Mount and all them, they come back and they're flying. And he probably wouldn't have.
And also, you've got to think,
didn't have that transfer ban.
People again, I think Lampard's done fantastically well, but people again comparing him to Oli. Oli's had this period where he had that immediate. At the moment, Lampard's at the wheel.
Yeah.
It could go horribly wrong for them for a little bit. You may see it.
At least the Chelsea fans are really patient.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, it is going to go wrong for them at some point because they're a team of young players.
Yeah.
It's going to be inconsistent. The same with us this season.
But you know what? They have
got. I was saying it's going to be good at some point.
But they have got like, if Abraham ain't performing, Giroud, bro, his experience is always good for a goal. If Hudson-Odoi is having a bad week, Willian can come in and he's not,
This is what I mean when you name some of them players, like I forgot about Pedro.
Willian
just won everything.
Have they not sold him?
We were used to doing that.
Oh, they stay in there.
That's what I mean. Like these are top quality players, and you almost forget they're there. So there is that depth.
If you could take one player from Chelsea, who would it be?
Can they?
Yes.
All day long.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a stupid question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
On that note, we wrap up today's preview. The League Cup.
Predictions?
Man United. Oh yeah. That's good.
How long have you been doing this for?
I know.
You've got it rolled down on the phone in front of you.
Score prediction.
I'll go with. Do you know what? I'll go with United win.
Fucking right. What score?
2-1.
I think we're winning on penalties.
Ooh.
I said that Rochdale and I got pelters for it.
And we went on penalty.
Yeah. So there you go.
You know, because we can't win away from home
No.
until recently. We can't score more than 1 goal away from home.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to
100%
be...
winner ratio away from home in the last 7 days.
I think this is going to be a continuation of the turn up for the Bucks that we saw at Norwich, and we're going to score 3 goals and win the game 3-1 and go to the quarterfinals of the League Cup and win the whole thing.
Yes.
Ollie's at the wheel.
League Cup champions of the world.
Okay.
Right, guys, that has been the
You were
Full-Time
calling
Devils Chelsea preview. Get your comments in below. Give us a subscribe. That's Adam. That's Jay. My name's Gaz. We'll catch you next time. Laters.